Thought of something funnier than 24.
Let me hear it.
2.2.
You can never go wrong with a 2.2 joke. It has a 100% success rate. Or should I say 40%.
What's up, it's Jamal Crawford, and you're watching GD's NBA Highlights.
Anyways, what is up guys? It's me again, and with the playoffs starting tomorrow, I have 5 insane playoff predictions that I better shoot at least 90% on, or as long as it's not 40%. And speaking of insane playoff predictions, Damian is already off to the races. Blazers in 6. Over the Warriors, of course. We're definitely going to get into that, and speaking of the Warriors, I think Steph Curry has had enough. We have collectively clowned the man for the past 8 years. No player has been shat on more than he has. And if he has any pride at all, he explodes in the playoffs. I'm talking 50 made threes a series. And listen man, I don't know how big Steph's balls are. That's something only Ayesha Curry knows. And Kevin Durant. But we're about to find out real soon. So make sure to go down and smash the like button guys. Drop a like, and the next upload I have planned is crazy. 5 stories that prove LeVar Ball was not human. So if you're new, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. And I'm just kidding about the LeVar Ball thing. Unless you guys actually want that video. Okay, let's clear this out. LeBron James is a showman. What a showman is a man who sees a player get his dick aggressively chewed by the media and win a unanimous regular season MVP, then goes on to embarrass this player and win the finals unanimous MVP. A lot of people say I have beef with Curry. Well, of course I do. It's delicious. But this right here in particular is not beef or hating on Steph at all. He got outplayed. Those are just the facts of life. So what am I trying to say? Well, LeBron has seen one man average a triple-double throughout the regular season. He's gotten unlimited praise that has been deserved, and it's just in LeBron's DNA to average a triple-double now in the playoffs. 14 years in, it's just who he is. He won't say much verbally, but the playoffs are LeBron's therapy. That's how you recognize greatness. And as a matter of fact, starting tomorrow, he will have a triple-double in the first game. The only thing to stop it is A, Paul George, B, the Cavs blowing out the Pacers early and LeBron sits the 4th, or C, Tristan fucking Thompson missing 5 wide open layups off of LeBron passes. Seriously, mini rant, LeBron would average double-digit assists and Kyrie would average 7 a game if TT could finish layups as an NBA caliber player should. He is the most frustrating player on the roster, outside of Shumpert of course. Shumpert is just dick. The man is physically dick. End of rant. Now going back to B, the Cavs blowing out the Pacers will not happen. So get ready for an amazing game, and it leads me perfectly to the next prediction. Now let the insanity begin. I predict every single first round series in the East will go 7 games. Yes, 4 series, 28 games, prepare yourself. The NBA is about to be popping just like it was during LeVar Sanity. Lin Sanity. Starting with Cavs Pacers. Cleveland has been absolute garbage. For a LeBron-led team, that is. I admit the LeBron sexual in me tried its best to squeeze LeBron as the MVP frontrunner as much as possible. But let's face it, the Cavs have had too many instances where they look like utter trash. Chemistry issues, and HIV-level defense. It was disgusting to watch, and all that combined with the fact that PG-13 has been playing pretty rated R, and the Pacers have been on a roll as of late, we will go to 7 games. Next up, Boston, Chicago. Playoff Dwayne Wade and playoff Rondo are very real and very scary. And Jimmy Butler will probably show us why he's the best player on the floor, and it's gonna be intense. Arguably the best series in the East. That being said, there's another dude on the other side who's pretty scary when the lights are shining brightest. You may not always notice him, cause, he's pretty short. But we're about to find out if playoff Isaiah Thomas is a real thing or not. He doesn't have experience, but I see no reason why he won't average 30 in the first round, and that combined with the fact that Avery Bradley and Marcus Smart put people in the phone booth will send this series to 7 games. By phone booth, I mean they are going to give Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade a hard on. Sorry, I meant a hard time. And before moving on to the next series, all I'm going to say is Rajon Rondo is pretty familiar with the Boston Garden. I'm not sure why, but he knows the gym pretty well. Don't sleep. Next up, Toronto, Milwaukee. I like to tell it like it is, so let's tell it like it is. DeRozan and Lowry have been shithouses in the playoffs. I love both of them, but they have been nightmarish in the postseason. To spare Raptors fans the embarrassment, I won't show the stats. Oh no, looks like I will. Okay, Raptors fans, let's just make a deal and blame it all on Drake. Is that fair? Cool. Anyways, real talk. It is time for the North, specifically DD and Hamburglar. I think they are going to go off. Kyle Lowry is actually healthy this time around, unlike last year, and DeMar has literally been a top 10 player this year. That being said, the Bucks might have a dude who's better than both of them combined. That was an obvious exaggeration. He's definitely taller than both of them combined, and he's one of the 2 best all-around players in all of basketball. Yeah, I said it. Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Greek Freak is going to carry this team on his back to 7 games. And for those of you wondering who I have winning each series, all of those predictions will be given at the end. Last of Orlando Dwight defensively, I can see the Hawks making some real noise. Honestly, I'm rooting for the Hawks in this series because I really don't think Dennis needs any more stress in his life. That being said, this will go 7 games, and for those of you who've been sleeping on John Wall, well, nap time's over. That was corny as shit. Let me make it up to you with this. We do not have the MVP results yet, but make no mistake, it's a 2-man race, and unfortunately, the decision is in the hands of several sweaty, overweight, stat sheet gangsters. And speaking of MVP results, for those of you who don't know, someone made an all-time cancer decision and decided it would be a smart idea to announce the NBA MVP on June 26th. Yeah, a week after the fucking finals conclude. I have no idea whose idea this was, but once I find out, the roast session begins. Because having the MVP announced before the start of the first round would make my prediction even stronger. We are about to witness the greatest 1-2 back and forth duel in playoff history. Russell Westbrook and James Harden will give us the most entertaining first round of the entire playoffs. If you guys can't keep up with every series, this is the one to keep up with no matter what. There will be tons of points, tons of assists, tons of rebounds, and I mean just a ton, like a boatload of turnovers. The amount of records about to be broken in this series. Just wait on it. And now I might have to do some extra research on the whole greatest playoff duel ever part, cause just off the top of my head, Kobe and Melo back in the days had straps. Dudes were fully assembled too, guns blazing. But I think this series is gonna take the cake cause Kobe and Melo had great teams around them. This is actually hilarious cause you got a grand total of 30 players, 28 bums, 2 superstars. At the end of the day, no matter what happens, just make sure to give us at least 30 shots a night, each. And before we move to the next prediction, Hakeem Olajuwon put on arguably the most skilled display of all time in the playoffs versus David Robinson back in 1995. I don't think David Robinson has spoken to Hakeem till this day because of what he did to his manhood. Hakeem showed no mercy, none at all, and that is why you announced the MVP before the playoffs. The sweet smile, the big piercings, the hairline that would make any man jealous. People tend to forget Kyrie Irving is Uncle Drew. The amount of ankles he's going to collect for these next 2 months will be criminal. He's going to cross people off the edge of the earth. And a lot of people have been sleeping, but Kyrie literally just averaged 25, 6, and 3 on 47, 40, 90 shooting on a 51-win team, all as the second option. You people are asleep. Even then, this prediction in particular may not be as insane, but I think Kyrie is going to average 35 and 5 for the entire playoffs, thus putting his name next to Harden and Russ when it's all said and done. And how about another prediction within a prediction? Kyrie will have 3 game winners total in the playoffs. Now I probably just sound ridiculous, but like I said, all the East series are going to be extremely close, and Kyrie is going to be the closer for the most part. Expecting 3 game winners isn't a huge stretch at all, considering he had 2 last year. And if the Cavs do make the finals, for the first 3 rounds, expect Kyrie to be the main man. He will be the MVP of the team until the finals come. The reasoning is pretty simple. The way LeBron is built is he has a switch, an internal switch along with a built-in urgency sensor. LeBron is going to allow Kyrie to do his thing all playoffs long. And when it comes time to be the man, 0 Dark 30 23 activated. This was LeBron's tweet just about exactly a year ago today. He went on to have one of the greatest playoff runs ever. But now the Raptors are going to sweep the Cavs because he didn't tweet it this year. Seriously, we're all like waiting on that tweet. In realness, the Raptors challenging the Cavs is definitely going to happen if they match up. And can they possibly beat the Cavs? We'll get into that right after this. Since a lot of Warriors fans have been pissed at me, I promise not to roast Curry here. I'll be gentle, just like he was in the finals. Okay, now I'm done, I promise. Anyways, no player in all of basketball, maybe all of sports, has been clowned more than Steph Curry for the past year. And no team in all of sports have been clowned more than the Warriors. Agree with me or not, that shit is not up for debate. The 3-1 meme will be documented in the Smithsonian for the rest of time. And from what I've gathered about Curry, I think he's prideful. He doesn't show it, but he has a lot going on in that head of his. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Am I sounding suspect right now? Let me change up my tone real quick. Curry is a dude who just hasn't performed well in the finals. For his standards, he's actually been trash. So a combination of him being due and him having an inch of dignity is enough for me to believe he will absolutely take over your 2017 playoffs. How far will he get? Well, I'm giving out my predictions real soon, but regardless of the Warriors' success, Curry will experience his own success. And hot take alert, when Curry's on fire, the Warriors are on fire. Also, KD being injured for this period of time has been a blessing in disguise. The Warriors have finally understood their offense, and this may sound weird, but under KD, the offense is Vaseline. Under Steph Curry, the offense is cocoa butter. Both extremely smooth and efficient, but cocoa butter lubricant just works better. Please don't ask why I know which work better and which don't, please. So that being said, Steve Kerr isn't a revolutionary coach, but he knows Curry should be taking the most shots to be their best, and Kevin Durant is a relatively unselfish dude. I don't think he's gonna mind Curry being the man, but once again, above all, it's all about pride, Steph. I think you have it, but if you choke in these playoffs, you're the biggest pussy in all of sports. You better show up. If any of you guys are pissed off by my predictions and think I'm being unfair to your team, please let me know why in the comments and give me your reasoning. Don't just tell me I'm a faggot. That being said, boss is gonna push them. So Jeff Van Gundy love, then Jeff might be right. Yeah, it's very much. Enjoy, guys. And before we go, I just want to wish a happy birthday to Clarence, who's a